FIFA Club World Cup is ongoing. We all know that we are now in the round of 16, and Inter Milan, unfortunately, lost their round of 16 match to what do you call it, the Brazilian side, Fluminense. When Flamingo actually beat Chelsea, a lot of people thought that wow, it is one of those games. It was a shock result. Even when Inter Milan themselves actually drew with Monteiro in their first match, we were like, oh, could this be the shock of the tournament? We didn't know that there will be a huge one coming, because this is the business end of the competition. And for International Milan, the team that played in the Champions League on two occasions in the last 3 seasons, to lose to the Brazilian side, a lot of people were like, wow, that is a shock. When they went 1-0 down, people actually said, oh, they will come back. Inter Milan will make that comeback. The comeback never came, and then in the dying embers of the game, the Brazilian side even made it very, very comfortable for them by adding another goal. But people need to look at something. Even going into this tournament, Inter Milan had lost a couple of their players due to injury. And now, you and I, even in the going into the Champions League final, I was telling you that if you look at the ages of the Inter Milan players, it will be difficult for them to compete competitively against that of the PSG. If you look at their average age, and having played so many matches this season, it is only normal that they were feeling heavy-legged in a tournament such as this. And then the Brazilian, for that matter, other smaller club not taking this competition lightly at all, actually made sure that they got money. In fact, just getting to the quarterfinals, you will get 10 million more to what we have already accumulated. So, I mean, they are very, very serious about this particular competition. And of course, Thiago Silva in the defense of Fluminense did very well. And when they went for the cooling break, cameras captured him speaking to the coach that they have to change their formation to a 5-4-1 kind of formation. And the coach asked, "Oh, how about then the wing backs of the one particular wing back of Inter Milan?" He said, "Oh, he will take care of that," and he indeed that was what he did. And then they won the game. So that's a coach in the making in Thiago Silva. Why not? He has played for so many clubs. He played for AC Milan. We all know how he started his career very late. That is why he's still more than 40 years and he's still playing football. He went to PSG and then came to Chelsea and now back home playing for Fluminense. So we want to congratulate them on qualifying to the quarterfinals. Of the competition, and if you look at it now, it looks like for them, two of those people that produce the shock, that is Al Hilal and Fluminense, will meet in the quarterfinals. It is going to be an interesting game to see. We call them what do you call it? The serial killers are meeting. Who will then become the victim and who be the victor is what we have to look at. The better now talking about the Al Hilal Real Madrid. I mean, what do you call Manchester City match. Manchester City, even in this going into this round of 16, as of the 16 teams, if they were not number one favorite, they should be number two behind PSG. And because they have signed a lot of players that have also come in, and it looks like they have also it looks like they have even actually fit in very well. And then with Rodri also returning from injury, it looks like he's even a new signing for them. And we saw how they effortlessly beat Juventus. We thought that they would continue in that fashion and at least get to the finals. If you look at the path where they are, the only strongest team perhaps they might face later on would have been Chelsea. So we expected that they were going to beat Al Hilal. Inter Milan would beat Fluminense, then they would beat Inter Milan in the quarterfinals and probably meet Chelsea in the semi-finals. That was how we predicted it. Little did we know that neither Inter Milan nor what they call Manchester City will be making to the quarterfinals. So the both of them have been knocked out. And then if you look at how it is, I mean, we're very entertaining goals. And in a tournament where every goal scored has an amount that you will get for scoring a goal, I'm sure both owners would be very happy. The Al Hilal owner, well, for Al Hilal, where they are coming from, the oil city, the oil country, they don't even need money that much, but they were just about bent on making a point. And I think that victory is actually a feather in the cap of the Saudi Pro League. Ronaldo said it some time ago that the Saudi Pro League is very competitive. It can be rated as a fifth most strongest league in or competitive league in the world. People laugh at him. Now we have seen that Real Madrid could not beat this in Al Hilal. They ended 1-1, and now Manchester City who also won the Champions League in the last 5 seasons, are very prominent in the Champions League, have been defeated, albeit on extra time. After 2-2 90 minutes, they went to the extra time, and then the Al Hilal won. So they have shown that the league is competitive. Now people are beginning to say that, oh, Ronaldo, come for your stone. After all, you were actually right. So Ronaldo now has been vindicated that the Saudi Pro League is not pushed as at all. So if you had about two teams coming from the Saudi Pro League in this tournament, then you would actually see how they will actually perform. Because these same players in the midfield, then Ruben Neves will even push to the defense at a certain point in time. Tells you that he's so versatile. We have a former Manchester City defender in Cancelo doing very well in there. So Koulibaly, former Chelsea, former Napoli defender, also he also even scored. And Bono, that was Real Madrid actually wanted to sign him, and it was just because of the nasty relationship between Sevilla and Real Madrid that made him to go to the Saudi Arabia, and we saw his performance in the World Cup. Yesterday, he saved 10 saves. If you even look at the dangerous or goal clearing opportunities that were created, the big chances that were created, Al Hilal created more big chances than Manchester City. Al Hilal created 7, and Manchester City created only 6. You understand that? So it tells you that Al Hilal, they defended, they played deep, and actually played their opponents, Manchester City, on the counter. And Luis Pep Guardiola, he didn't have answers to the questions that Inzaghi and his men actually posed to Manchester City yesterday. He brought Phil Foden in very late. He got a goal for him, but it was just like too late. And then the Saudi side have matched into the quarterfinal. We say congratulations to them. There's nothing more they can do. That is why for FIFA and all other people that brought this tournament into being, they will be very happy. This expanded fund, they will be very happy that some of these big guys are losing. The so-called some other teams are progressing to the next stage of competition. That is all good for the competition scorer.
Okay, so that is